Hi, this is Julie from Julie Leggett Art. Thanks for joining me. I'm just catching up on my January block for Roxy's journal stitchery. This is where I've got to presently. I've done quite a lot of work on there, and I've put two rabbits on at the one above the other, sort of jumping the opposite way. Used quite a lot of seed stitch, French knots and running stitch or canvas stitch, and I've kept with the colour scheme that I showed you in my last video, but I do feel everything needs a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is show you how I go around the rabbit. I'm going to use two lots of cottons for that. It's what I use when I'm doing a portrait. I've got the threads, well, the cotton's all threaded up ready. I'm just using, first of all, an ordinary black cotton. This is just a Gutterman's cotton. And then a DMC darker cotton. I've already knotted the ends, so what I'm going to do is, the idea is that you do a continuous sort of length of stitches as best you can. So if I go through with my thicker thread, I'm going to just lay it down, and I'm going to just couch it with the thinner cotton. I might put that, I've got a little bit of a dint there in the leg, so first of all I'm going to come up with my second ordinary Gutterman's thread, and going in back where you actually came out with your needle, just tack that cotton down and then follow around the outline. I use an iron, one that you can iron off, a pen that you can draw with, and then the iron actually erases it, which is fabulous. I'm sure you probably all use them. But where there's curves and different angles, you need to put an extra stitch in. If it's a long straight line that you're following, you can actually do less couching on there. I've got that laid down, so I'm just going to couch this thread on as I go along, just going in where you came out. It's not as tricky as it seems, especially if you're used to couching, but it works really well with all portrait work. Keep going back in where you came out, and follow the shape of your rabbit all the way around. I have still got work to do on the eyes and the ears. Oh, I pulled that out of the rabbits. I should probably do a nice fluffy white tail. On each of them. Get that back in there again. And just keep following your cotton round. Pulling that. You can see that how I'm doing it, and I'm just laying the cottons down. And what I can see here is that I need to take this cotton back, so I'll put this one down here, then I'll have to go back again and do a double, and do an extra stitch where it's around the on that corner there. You can see what I'm doing. come out of there. And then I'm going to pull this piece of cotton back like this, just with a couching stitch. I keep losing my cottons. Sorry about this. There we go. So you can see that's pulled that back round there. And that was, well, I won't do any more because it's quite tedious, but as you can see I've started doing the outline of the rabbit there, which is here. And you can see it's drawn on, so I'd just carry on with that line around there so that it's like the one at the bottom. This rabbit I've filled in with long and short stitch. Got quite a bit more work to do on that. I'm going to leave the outline of that and carry on with that later. I'll just thread the stitches, the needles through there. Another thing I think I would like to do, I'm going to do like a double cross stitch or a cross stitch down here using the yellow and the purple cottons that I chose. These are like a pearl cotton, so they're a lot thicker. I think I'm going to start with the yellow and just do a plain cross stitch as I go down. All the way down that, so I'm going to keep doing that. I'll do one row of these. I am catching up now on my January and February. I'm going to show you where I'm up to with my February. I've just cut a few flowers out ready to use on there. So I'll show you where I'm at. So I'm going to just carry on with this line a bit further down. Just carrying on with the cross stitch. I don't use a lot of cross stitch, so I thought I'd add some in. I think because, you know, the cross stitch was the very first stitch you used when you was at school, well, it certainly was for me, on that very wide Ada, that these, you know, it often gets missed out as too simple a stitch, which of course it is, but it's a nice filler in. Just pop that there. Right, so I'm going to just leave that there, and I've done cross stitch down there. They're all different sizes there, and then with the purple I'm going to just do a little cross over it. So I'm just going to come up just above the cross stitch there, and I'm going to, oh, something's come through from the other side, get that back, and then just cross it over where the centre of the stitch is, all the way down. You can do this of course with the same colour, but I like to do a combination of colours, and what I'll do is do an opposite colour effect. I'll do purple cross stitches with a yellow central cross. So it was way all the way down there. once I've done this, I'll show you what it looks like. Just thread that in. Right, so that's what it looks like. You can see that down there, and I'm going to fill the whole of this space with that sort of work, and it'll just add texture in that little gap there of plain fabric. I do like a lot of texture, so I do tend to stitch into the fabric and almost cover the whole lot. Of course, it's not essential, it's just me. I'll also fill these little bits in here. I do like flowers or flower shapes in a darker sort of contrast when I'm working on certain colourways, and for this one I've used the purple. So that's my piece up to now. I'll just pop that there, and I'll show you a little bit more when I've finished. See you again soon.